Hi everyone, this is Dr. Song. As you can see, I'm sitting at my home in my living room right now. This will be our way of doing the lectures in the remaining of this semester. Unfortunately, this is not my favorite way of teaching. Probably this is not your favorite way of learning either. But unfortunately, we have to stay with this approach. So before I really start to do the lectures, let me go through the things I'm going to change. So the first thing, the course projects. The proposal we'll do on March 22nd. Another thing will be changed will be the final presentation. So I was planning to have a in-class presentation, and then every day we can have 4 or 3 teams to present their projects, so you can learn from each other. And this is really very important because when you are all focused on your project, sometimes you may also want to know what have other people been done, and probably you can see some really cool things and you can ask each other questions. Instead of just writing a final report, I'm also going to require you to make a video. What kind of video do you want to? Do you want to use a PowerPoint, or you want to use something even fancier, or you want to show us some of the code, or just go through your IPY file? It's your decision, but you will require to do a video instead of do a in-class presentation. And this hyperlink to the YouTube video. By the way, I'm requiring to upload that to a YouTube your YouTube, and then you need to send the link to the YouTube to the Canvas as part of the course submission. And plus, you need to share your course video on Slack. You can see each other's work on Slack because all the hyperlinks will be there. And for the lectures, this is the new approach of doing the teaching. So I'm staying at home, and hopefully you guys are all staying at home. So I'm going to record the videos like this, and then I'm going to upload this kind of videos to a YouTube playlist. Later when you see that playlist, and then you can see all the videos I have uploaded. The next thing, discussions. I know you want to work together and have a lot of discussions. For now, you can't come to campus, and I can't come to campus either. If you want to discuss with each other, or if you still want to work in pairs in the on the homeworks, you have to find a way to work together virtually. So probably you can use FaceTime or something else. And if you have any questions, or you want to bring up a question to everyone in the class, and feel free to use Slack. And this is the tool we have been using for a long time. You can post your question to this channel, so DSC522 SP20, or ask me privately. And the last thing is the office hour. So I'm going to hold office hour online on a Zoom meeting. So this will be my personal Zoom meeting. So I'm promising you that on Mondays and Thursdays, 1 to 2 p.m., I will be on this Zoom meeting. So if you have any questions, feel free to come and ask me questions, and I will be there waiting for you guys. And before you, if you haven't tried Zoom at all, and this might be a good idea that you can test your Zoom first, because you need to have your audio and video work before you can really join a Zoom meeting and talk to me. Okay, so the next part. Probably you have done some machine learning already. So this is just a general overview of what people usually do with supervised machine learning. Talking about supervised machine learning, what is that? So for supervised, it means we have the labeled data. So for each of the sample, we have already got the samples labeled. Okay, so the first thing, what I did was I imported NumPy, and then from the scikit-learn, I imported the linear regression, and then I also imported train test split. Okay, and the first thing, model equals linear regression and then normalize true. So what did I do here? So linear regression should be a class name. I just imported. So I imported a class called linear regression. And then I'm trying to create an instance of the linear regression class. So this model is really an instance of the linear regression model. And then if we want to print the model, well, it will Jupyter Notebook will tell me this is the linear regression model, and then there are a bunch of the parameters. So the next thing, I want to create a x and y. So x are all the features, and then a y will be a range from 0 to 5. So, well, here is a convention. So for the x, I use the upper letter x, but for the y, I use the lower letter y. So this is just a convention of the scikit-learning community. So we use the upper cases if it is a matrix, and we use a lowercase if it is a vector or a theory. Okay, so this means for x, it is a 5 by 2 matrix, and for the y, it is a vector or a list of 5 values. So I printed y, and the next thing, train test split. So probably you have seen this before. So let me ask this question: is that a function or a method? Think about that. So if you check the syntax, it should be a function call. Okay, we are calling a function, and then we are sending x and y, and then we are sending the test size equals 40%. So this means we are doing a train test split, and then we are holding 40% of the samples as the testing set. So if we want to get the x train, so this is the training set, the features for the training. So x is capitalized again because this is a matrix. So this is 60% of the data for the training purpose, and then the y train, the labels of the training set, and then x test and y test. So the next thing, well, model dot fit x train y train. So remember, this model is the linear regression model we just created, and then we do a model.fit. So again, let me ask this. So for the fit, is that a function or a method? So in this case, this is a method because we did a instance or a object and then dot a method name. So this is a method. So we are trying to send the x train and the y train to the linear regression model for a training. And the next part, after we have the model, we do a model.predict. So this is another method call. So we are sending the x test. So we want to get the predictions based on the x test. So if you want to get the predictions, and you can see this is the first value and then the second value. So for the second value, it is 2.0. And for the first value, you need to pay attention to the e negative 15. So this is a very, very small value. Well, but personally, I don't quite like this way because, well, I just have so many digits after the decimals. So I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to set the precision to be 2, which means I only keep 2 digits after the decimal. And then if you want to see the predictions again, now it's a little bit better. So this is a quick sum up. Well, if you want to import a machine learning model, you can do that with scikit-learn, and scikit-learn has a bunch of machine learning models. And you really don't have to write machine learning models all by yourself from scratch. Well, later, if you have your own really fancy algorithms, probably you will do that. Well, and then usually you have to create an instance of a model. So you imported a class from scikit-learn, and then you have to create a machine learning model as the instance of that class. Well, and another thing is, remember, you may have to specify hyperparameters. So for this one, what we did was, let me see. Okay, here. So we specify hyperparameter called normalized. So we specify the normalized to be true. Well, and in some other machine learning models, you may have to do something even harder than that. For example, you may have to specify multiple parameters. Or in some even harder cases, you have to try different combinations of the hyperparameters to better tune your model. So this will be a topic we are going to cover later in this course. So in train test split, we are going train test split will return you the features usually x and the values labels usually y. So remember, usually x we use upper letters, and for the y we use lower letters, and it will return you a total of 4 objects. So they are x train, y train, x test, and y test. And you need to call the fit to train your model. And then after your model has already been trained, the last thing is you want to call the predict. You want to call the predict to make the predictions based on the test features. Okay.